say. And I don't speak the British accent. I speak a little bit of Singlish, so I hope you all bear with me with kind of accent that I have. And well, today I'm talking about the power in the midst of I Ching. In a way, it sounds maybe sometimes a bit puzzled or to most of you. But then I'll try to guide you along, and maybe you have a better understanding from there. So there's different saying. I Ching is one of the pronunciation that they use before the Chinese kind of pronunciation that they call Hanyi Pinyin is right in the second bracket. And the last is the Book of Change. It's the actual meaning of I Ching is all about. Okay, it's all about change. And how many of you do not know what is I Ching? Can I have a raise of hand? Oh, not so many, so it's good. It's a good sign. Okay, it's actually one of the top literature ever written in the Chinese history, some 5,000 to 7,000 years ago. So it's a long history that comes along. And the traditional milestone on the formation of I Ching, just give you a brief history. So around this time, almost 5,000 years, Fu Xi is the one who actually started the trigram. And then the next one is the further enhancement of 64 hexagram by Zhou, Emperor Zhou, we call it. And the Chinese call it Zhou Wenwang in Mandarin, okay? And the last is Confucius. He actually made a commentary to I Ching, and we name it the 10 Winds. As the name implies, it's actually put wings to the I Ching, so to make you all understand better. Okay, what are your understandings about I Ching? You all may say, oh, what is I Ching? Just a book, or just to throw some 3 coins around and then to look at the future? I see no response. So this could mean 2 possibilities. Either you know or you don't know. So it doesn't matter. No response is okay. So I don't see much responses as well. That's why, but it can mean a lot of possibility. That's why I'm sharing with you. Let's go into what are the things that I can prepare for you and to make you better understand what is I Ching, okay? So it's always misunderstanding of I Ching. There's often like as a part of Taoism. It's only Taoism adopted as a religion. But in I Ching, it's far beyond words, in fact. It's picture before. And then you have bunch of rubbish. Most of them, what is this? You read the book. For me, I started reading the book and it was like, what is this? It's like a bunch of rubbish to me. Initially, when I started to read it. And then after you read, you couldn't make anything out of it. It's like, what is he trying to say? It's just some pictures, some continuous lines, some broken lines, and that's it. So in that sense, what are those symbols as well? So these are the things that you need to know before you can start to understand what is I Ching. Okay? So you have prerequisite knowledge that you need to know. The 10 Heavenly Stem, which you're practicing Feng Shui, you should know. And also the 12 early branches. Okay, give me a show of hand. Any of you know what is 2 items? Okay, that's good. So I don't have to explain much further then. Okay, let me illustrate an easier way to remember them. It's actually made to us with our left hand. When you put your thumb towards, it's always pointing at this base at your index finger. So this will actually form the beginning of the 10 Heavenly Stem or the 12 early branch. So you can have.
Not index finger. That's not the index finger.
Oh, sorry. The ring finger. 4 finger. Okay. So from here you start the 1. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is the 10 heavenly stems. Okay, and you have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which is a 12 earthly stems, earthly branch. So in that way, you are able to remember yourself in that sense. And if you can't really remember the symbol or the Chinese character, you can write on your palm to better remember them. Okay, so I just go through the 10 of them. So in the Chinese, I put it in the Chinese Hanyu Pinyin style so that you all can understand how it is. So it's Jia, Yi, Bing, Ding for the first 5, and then Ji, Gen, Xin, Ren, Kui. So this is the 10. So if you can't remember, you can write it on your palm. Okay. So the 12. So I do it fast. So these are the 12 of them. Similarly, you can just start to put on the palm and to memorize it. It's much easier. And from this direction, you actually can have whatever they are opposing, they are in a conflict, and in the how should I say, we call it san he, and all this kind of relationship, you can use it from your palm easily. So it's really fantastic that, I mean, we are built in this form. But probably that's how they figure out this, how should I say, these formulas. Okay, on number 2 is the interrelationship of the 5 elements. You need to know this as well. Okay, and the next one is the relationship of yin and yang. In the Chinese metaphysics, we always talk about yin and yang. It's always about balance. So you need to be well balanced in order to make progress. Okay, let's take a look at the 5 elements. So it actually help each other. The fire produces the earth gives metal, the metal gives water, water gives the wood, and then the wood in turn goes back to fire. And also, you have the conflict, that means you're under control. So the metal controls the wood, and then the water controls the fire, and the wood controls the earth, and also the earth controls the water. Okay? Okay, the formation of yin and yang. To you, it's just like probably this sign will be very familiar. But I go a little bit more just to illustrate a little bit so that you know. Formation of yin-yang form with one Tai Chi as one whole. You don't separate yin and yang. It's one whole to us. That's how it is. Tai Chi, you have yin and yang. And from yin and yang, you have Tai Yang, Sao Yang, and then, Tai Yin, Sao Yin, Sao Yang, Tai Yin. So in this form, it forms into the 4 signs. And then from here, you have the Pakwa. From the Pakwa, you will have the 64 hexagram. So from the hexagram, you have all the happenings in the universe. That's how people are saying that I Ching can tell you almost about everything in the universe. So other than that, do you all realize that it can be actually represented mathematically? This is how it goes. 2 to the power 0 is 1, Tai Chi. Okay? 2 to the power 1 is yin-yang, it's 2. 2 to the power 2 is 4 signs. And 2 to the power 3, 8, it's trigram. And of course, for hexagram, you put the 2 Pakwa together. So it's 2 to the power 3 plus 2 to the power 3, and you have 2 to the power 6, which is 64. And of course, if 2 to the power of infinity, you have everything under the universe. That's how it goes. Okay? Now you have the third one. So it's a lot of prerequisites that you need to know before you can start. Okay, we have the congenital Pakwa, which what we call the prehistorical Pakwa. It formed like this. And after that, you have an acquired, which is with reference to happenings. One is we take reference with the universe, and the other we take reference with the happenings around us. So that's why when we do a divination and all this, we look at the acquired Pakwa, that's this one. Okay? And then, to me, I would say that I Ching is really unutilized. Not only for divination, actually. We don't always throw coins. Always the 3 coins and all that. It's not that. So it's not limited to throwing of 3 coins in a tortoise shell. And it is part of the Chinese medical theory as well. And its interpretation of nature behavior. And also, it can be used in a warfare. I do not know whether you see some shows in the Chinese war history and all this. It's used inside. And give you the different perspective of any particular happenings. Okay? So, and many more. It's a lot more than you all think. Okay, ways of setting up a divination. I go into this so that to give you an insight how it actually helps. Okay. So you have ancient method, the 3 ancient coins, the yarrow stick they use, and other methods. You have qi men dun jia, you have mei hua yi shu. I pronounce it in Mandarin because it's quite difficult for me to translate in English. So just bear with me with the names, and you do some research with the internet, okay? And the numerology rules, simple divinations, and using the time. We can use the time to produce some divination, and you can tell what's happening. And you have strokes, like you have letters. This one you can use in the Western world, even a name, a word, or whatever it is. Just use the alphabet, and you can do it, okay? And there's many other ways. And normally, the master where I studied from, he don't even need you to do anything. Just by seeing you coming in, and he knows what you want to ask and what you're up to. So it's sometimes very scary. So interpretation of a divination. Okay, for any given situation, a gua should be interpreted according to the circumstances and the situation, respectively. So, for example, Qian Gua, that's always the first Gua we always talk about. When you're asking about weather, it's always the sky. It's never about the father, okay? And if you're asking about the health, it is a head and not a fine day. And when you're asking about a auspicious direction, it will be northwest and cannot be a body part, for example, the head. And when you're asking about Feng Shui, it's door of heaven, which is mentioned in Qi Men Dun Jia, and not a direction only for northwest. So you can see that by just one gua, it can be used in different situations, different meaning. So you have to look at what circumstances that you're asking for. The question, then we have an answer. That's how it goes. So it also opens up your perspective. With a given situation, I Ching tells you at least 6 possibilities of going about it, okay? And it could be more. It depends on how you interpret it.